Welcome. In front of me is an HMD Pulse Pro, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the device itself. So anyway, let's just jump straight into it. Now this is basically, we could say, almost the first time I have encountered this company. It's the second, only beaten by my 5 minutes ago unboxing of the Pulse Plus. So I am relatively new to this brand, but the Pulse Plus wasn't necessarily the best device on paper, and this one looks to be basically very similar to that. In the packaging we get a bit more premium looking device with a what looks to be glass back, but I think it's actually plastic. Might be wrong, I'll check it out soon enough. Now we do have a little bit of a sound that we'll be playing in a second, so prep for that. So here we have a Type-C to Type-A, Type-C to Type-C charging cable, and some paperwork along with the SIM eject tool at the bottom. Okay, so getting that out of the way, we can now look at the device, which has some very stylistic choices right here. This looks like an AI generated image, I'm not gonna lie. Fantastic. Anyway, just like the previous device, this one is using the same processor, which feels sluggish when even selecting languages or going through the setup. Doesn't really give you a good confidence of a device when even the setup just kind of lags for a budget device. So yeah, let's quickly finish this up. Come on. There we go. And here we have again our generated image. That is just, this looks a little bit AI-ish generated, so fantastic. Anyway, let's now talk about the display, which you can obviously see. So we have a 6.6-inch display with a resolution of 720 by 1612, exactly the same as the Pulse Plus. It as an LCD IPS display with a 90 Hz resolution, refresh rate, my bad, and a peak brightness of 600 nits with an 86.8% screen to body ratio and a pixel density of 265 pixels per inch. So the display is exactly the same as the Pulse Plus. Now, when we flip over to the cameras at the back, we have what looks to be a dual camera setup, and just as the Pulse Plus, that's just bullshit. We have a 50 megapixel wide sensor that can shoot videos at 1080p 30 frames. Now, unlike the Pulse Plus, this is below that, a 2 megapixel depth sensor. It's still absolutely useless, but it at least isn't labeled as an auxiliary lens that looks like a literal fake camera, as you can kind of see right here. But still, 2 megapixel depth sensor is absolutely useless, so it might as well be a fake camera and it wouldn't really make much of a difference. Now at the front it looks like we have a 50 megapixel sensor, though I highly doubt that. It's written like that, so if it's wrong, I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on into the internals of the device, we have a 5000 mAh battery, so that's pretty good. And unlike the Pulse Plus, this device actually supports a 20-watt charging. Obviously no charger provided in the box, even though most budget devices do that, because they expect that when you're buying a budget device you need everything that the device is supposed to come with. But HMD decided, nah, screw that, we're gonna save that couple cents on a crappy charger that we would have included anyway. So yeah, no charger for you, but luckily it does charge a little bit faster than 10 watts as the Pulse Plus supports only 10 watt charging on a cable. Now moving on, the device comes with 128 gigabytes of built-in storage with expandable storage, which I will showcase right now. There we go. So you can see we have dual SIM card support along with a dedicated SD card support. So if you need more than 128 gigs of storage, just pop in an SD card. Now, Apart from that, the device comes with either 4, 6, or 8 gigabytes of RAM, so you can choose which one you want. Obviously, the higher you go, the more you pay. And for this device, honestly, I wouldn't want to get any one of those, but that's just me. Let me quickly check something. Okay, so the Pulse Plus also had the same kind of variants, 128 gigs of storage with 4, 6, or 8 gigs of RAM. Now, continuing on, the device is running with a Unisec T606 processor, so pretty crap. And like I mentioned for the Pulse Plus, because they're almost identical, the processor seems to be struggling with running the basic applications even on a fresh device, and it's relatively slow. Oh, here it seems like it's... oh no, never mind. Oh, we just seen some like stuttering, which I haven't seen stuttering on mobile devices for some time, even in budget devices. So this one is first one for the past couple years that I have been doing this. And I want to be honest, this device was released in April 24th of 2024. So for a device released in this year, this is a bit much. Now, with that being said, the device costs 169 euros by GSM Arena website. And with that price tag, let me actually... I do want to check if this is correct. If I can even find a phone for sale. Wow. Okay. So for instance, HMD Pulse Pro, which this is, with 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, which it's kind of weird considering this device is supposedly coming with only 128, so that looks like GSM Arena has a bit of an incorrect info. But this would appear to be probably the most spec'd out version of it, and it costs about $250. That is a stupid price for a device that can barely run itself. So yeah, now if you drop it down to 6 gigs of RAM and to 128 gigs of storage, you're looking at a price tag of about... what is that? You're looking at about $180, bit better. Wait, no. Sorry, never mind. I did copy something wrong. It's supposed to be 800 PLN, not 400. So you're looking at 216 euros. Dollars, sorry. So for $216, that is still insane price for a device that really doesn't offer anything good. Now I want to check one last thing, which would be the Poco lineup, considering Xiaomi makes decent budget devices and mid-range devices. Poco F5. Let's just go with that one. That seems to always be basically a killer device. Okay, no, this one is way more expensive. Okay, so giving you a better alternative, a little bit more expensive. That being said, it's not that much more expensive. So for about, what does that convert to? So this device with 6 gigs of RAM, like I said before, costed about $216. Now, $280 will get you a Poco X6 with 12 gigs of RAM, 256 storage, and all across the board, way better specifications. Insanely better device over this one. There is no reason for you to pick this device unless you're being literally threatened that you need to use it. Other than that, yeah, just stay away. when it's compared to something like the X6, this device makes 0 sense for you to actually go for it. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to smash like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.